Hey beautiful, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found your way into this space. This is where we talk all things confidence, connection, and unlocking the kind of romantic energy that pulls a man in and keeps him coming back. Not because you're chasing, but because you're magnetic. And today, we're going there. We're diving into a topic that so many women wonder about, but don't always get clear, real advice on. What do men really want in bed? What actually drives them wild? Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, even spiritually. Here's the truth. Great intimacy isn't just about moves or techniques. It's not about acting like someone you saw in a movie or trying to copy something you read online. The most unforgettable women in a man's life, the ones he obsesses over, dreams about, and compares every future experience to, they weren't perfect. They were present, confident, emotionally in tune. And when you know how to bring that kind of energy into the bedroom, soft, bold, unapologetically feminine, you don't just attract desire. You create connection. You leave a mark. So whether you're in a relationship, dating someone new, or just wanting to feel more empowered in your sensuality, I'm going to give you 4 powerful ways to drive him wild without ever stepping outside of your authenticity or values. These aren't tricks, these are truths. And if you bring even one of these into your next intimate moment, you're going to notice something shift, not just in how he responds to you, but in how you feel in your own skin. So settle in, light a candle if you want to, and let's talk about how to make intimacy something unforgettable for both of you. Let me let you in on a secret that most women overlook when it comes to driving a man wild in the bedroom. The magic is in the slowness. We live in a world that's obsessed with speed, fast swipes, fast hookups, fast everything. We're constantly being told to rush, to get to the point, get the job done, move on. But in intimacy, that approach misses the point entirely. Because what truly drives a man wild isn't the act itself, it's the build-up, the tension, the teasing, the quiet moments in between that make his mind race and his heart pound. When you slow down, you give him something he rarely gets in the outside world, a moment to feel, to be fully consumed, and to be completely present with you. When you slow down, you take control of the energy, and in doing so, you become irresistible. Think about the way you look at him. Not a glance, a gaze, a pause. Let your eyes linger. Let the silence between words feel electric. Don't rush to touch him. Just exist near him in a way that says, I'm not in a hurry. I want to enjoy every inch of this moment with you. It's not about doing more, it's about doing less with intention. It's the way your fingers graze his skin as if you're tracing poetry. It's the way your lips hover just before a kiss, making him ache for it. It's the soft inhale of your breath when he's close, the way you let the moment stretch, like you're savoring it drop by drop. Slowness is power. When you slow down, you stop performing and start connecting. You're not just checking boxes. You're creating an experience, one that he'll feel in his chest, one that tells him, this isn't routine, this is real. Let's get something straight. Men don't just want to feel wanted. They want to feel chosen. They want to feel like your eyes see them, not just their body, but their energy, their essence, their masculine presence. They crave a sense of importance in the space they occupy with you. And in the bedroom, that desire multiplies. This isn't about flattery. It's not about overcompensating or trying to boost his ego. It's about the quiet, intimate moments where he feels like he's the only one who could ever make you feel that way. That's where the real seduction lies. Not in the performance, but in the personalization of the experience. When you make him feel like he's the only man in the world, you elevate him from someone who's physically desirable to someone who's emotionally significant. And that emotional pull, that's what drives him crazy in the best way. So how do you do it? Energy. With the way you look at him, not just a passing glance, but with depth, like you're drinking him in, like your eyes are memorizing him, that gaze that says, right now, you're all I want to see. You don't need to say a word, your energy does the talking. It's also in your voice, the softness when you speak his name, the way you tell him what he does to you, not just physically, but emotionally. When you whisper something like, only you make me feel like this, it lands in a place deeper than his ears. It touches his pride, his sense of identity, his desire to protect and please you. You're not just stroking his skin, you're stroking his soul. And that, for a man who feels emotionally safe and seen with you, is completely disarming. He melts, he leans in, he gives more. Because what you're offering isn't just a sensual experience. It's recognition. You're recognizing his power, his presence, his unique ability to unlock something in you that no one else can. That kind of validation isn't needy or clingy. It's magnetic. It's what makes him want to come closer, to give more, to impress you even more the next time. And it's not just what you say, it's the little gestures. The way you hold his face before a kiss like he's sacred. The way you run your hands down his back slowly like you're mapping out a secret territory that only you are allowed to explore. It's the sigh you let out when you're wrapped around him. Not because it's automatic, but because you're that content, that full, that connected. It's presence. Undistracted, undiluted presence. Because let me tell you something. In a world full of people multitasking, checking their phones, performing roles and half showing art, the woman who is fully present is unforgettable. When you're in that moment with him, forget everything else. Let your body and your energy say, I'm here with you and no one else matters right now. That level of devotion, even just for that night, is rare. And anything rare becomes treasured. But here's the beautiful twist. When you make him feel like the only man in the world, he'll start treating you like the only woman. Men mirror emotional experiences. If you show up in that space with complete focus, openness, and appreciation, he begins to reflect it back. Suddenly, he's more attentive, more affectionate, more emotionally tuned in. Why? Because you've awakened something primal in him, the desire to be your hero, your provider of pleasure, your everything. And that doesn't come from trying too hard. It comes from relaxing into your confidence, from knowing that you don't need to be anyone else but you to make him feel this way. So the next time you're with him, whether it's a longtime partner or someone you're exploring something new with, take a moment to tune everything else out. Drop into the energy between you. Let him feel how deeply seen he is. Touch him like you missed him. Even if you just saw him, look at him like you're still in awe. Speak to him like your words are a secret meant only for him. That, my love, is how you make a man feel like the only one in the world. And when you do, he'll never want to be anywhere else. When it comes to intimacy, most people focus on touch, on where to put their hands, how to move their body, what physical gestures will make sparks fly. But if you truly want to drive a man wild, not just physically, but emotionally, you have to realize something powerful. Your voice is one of the most erotic tools you have. And I don't just mean the sound of your voice. I mean the way you speak to him, what you say, when you say it, the tone you use, the vulnerability you allow, the confidence you carry in your words. These things matter more than you think. Because while the body speaks one language, the voice adds layers of meaning, is what creates intimacy beyond the physical. It's what turns a moment from ordinary to unforgettable. Men are incredibly responsive to verbal cues, especially when they're coming from a woman who knows how to express what she's feeling, what she's enjoying, and what she wants. It's not about shouting or being loud. It's about being deliberate, intentional, personal, real. Think about it. What happens when you whisper, "I've been thinking about this all day," with your lips close to his ear? You immediately awaken his imagination. You bring him into your mind. You show him that this isn't just physical for you. You've been mentally and emotionally engaged before the moment even began. That's incredibly arousing to a man. It tells him that you're present, that you're not performing, you're feeling. And when a woman shares her feelings, her pleasure, her desire, her thoughts out loud, it builds trust. It opens a door, and that door leads to a deeper kind of chemistry. Your voice can guide him, affirm him, tease him, and most importantly, connect with him. Let's talk about guidance for a second. Many women stay quiet because they've been taught that speaking up in the bedroom is awkward or too much. But the truth, a man who genuinely wants to please you, who wants to be connected to your experience, will find your guidance incredibly sexy. You don't have to give him a full instruction manual, just gentle cues. Slower, just like that. Stay right there. I love it when you do that. These simple words light up a man's confidence. They tell him he's on the right path. They pull him deeper into the moment. And when you say it in a soft, breathy, intimate tone, forget about it. He's putty in your hands. But it's not just about direction. It's about affirmation. Telling him what you're enjoying, showing appreciation for his effort. Men thrive off positive reinforcement, especially when it's real and specific. When you say, "You make me feel so good," or "No one else does that to me," you're not just complimenting him, you're feeding his masculine identity. And men crave that kind of recognition from a woman they're attracted to. Now, let's talk teasing, because your voice is also a tool for play, and playfulness is often what keeps intimacy exciting. You can build anticipation by saying things like, "I've been waiting for this all day," or "I love watching you want me." These aren't dirty lines. They're deeply flirtatious, emotionally charged phrases that stir his imagination and heighten the energy between you. And lastly, connection. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is the most honest. "I feel so close to you right now." Or even just his name, spoken with affection after an intimate moment. It's vulnerable, it's open, and it reminds him that this wasn't just about sensation. It was about you and him in this moment together. Remember, your voice carries energy. You can be soft, playful, dominant, sweet, honest, mysterious. And sometimes switching between those energies, just with your tone, is what keeps things thrilling. It shows depth. It shows presence. It shows that you're not afraid to be heard. So don't hold back. Let your voice come into the room with you, not to impress, but to express. Let it color the experience with intention and emotion. Because when you do, you invite him into a deeper level of connection, one where he's not just reacting to your body, he's responding to your soul. And that is what keeps a man hooked long after the night is over. Every man has desires he doesn't always speak out loud, fantasies that live in the back of his mind, some playful, some intense, some he's never shared with anyone. And do you want to know what drives him wild more than anything? It's not just having those fantasies fulfilled, it's having them understood and gently invited out by a woman who knows how to hold space for them. Because here's the truth, a man's most powerful fantasies aren't just about physical stimulation. They're about feeling deeply seen and accepted. They're about vulnerability, trust, permission. And when you become the woman who gives him the safety to explore those desires without judgment, you unlock a side of him that most never get to see. This isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's not about morphing into a character or pushing your own boundaries. It's about curiosity, emotional intimacy, creating a space where he feels comfortable enough to reveal parts of himself he usually keeps tucked away. And once he does, you become unforgettable. Not because you acted out his wildest dream, but because you were brave enough to ask. It starts with conversation. And I don't mean sitting down over dinner and grilling him about his fantasies. I mean subtle invitations to open up. Phrases like, "What's something you've always wanted to try?" Or, "Tell me something you've never told anyone else before." When said with warmth, softness, and true curiosity, not pressure, you disarm him. You create a container where his walls can drop. And here's the beautiful twist. Once he senses that you're open, he becomes more open with you. Not just about his fantasies, but about his emotions, his insecurities, his fears. This isn't just about turning him on. It's about turning on his ability to trust you fully. And when he trusts you like that, the connection deepens in ways that make physical chemistry feel sacred. Now, once he begins to share, your job is not to judge, it's to listen, smile, tease. Let him feel like you're not only comfortable hearing it, but you enjoy the fact that he's letting you into this secret part of himself. That's where the magic is, in making him feel accepted exactly as he is. And if something sparks your interest, explore it gently. You don't have to go all in. Sometimes just hinting at his fantasy, bringing it into the moment in a subtle, suggestive way is enough to make his heart race. It's not about the intensity, it's about the intimacy. For example, if he mentions he likes a bit of dominance, you don't have to suddenly become a different person. You can just lean in and whisper, "I love when you give me control," even just a little. If he reveals he likes being teased, you might slow your movements, hold eye contact, and say, "You'll have to be patient if you want more of me." It's playful, it's sexy, but most of all, it's personal. You're not just doing something sexy, you're doing something that speaks directly to him. That's what makes it unforgettable. And let's not forget, this door swings both ways. As you open him up, you also get to reveal your own desires, your own fantasies, what you like, what you've been curious about but hesitant to share. And when that exchange happens, when two people are both brave enough to be a little raw, a little exposed, that's when intimacy becomes electrifying. Because now it's not just about pleasure, it's about connection. You're not performing, you're co-creating an experience that is uniquely yours, one that's charged with trust, vulnerability, anticipation, and yes, passion. So no, you don't have to guess what he wants. You just have to be the one who makes it safe for him to show you. And that is far more powerful than any fantasy could ever be. Ladies, if there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's that your power in the bedroom doesn't come from trying to be someone you're not. It doesn't come from being perfect or trying to follow some script of what you think he wants. It comes from presence, from being the woman who owns her desires, who expresses herself with confidence and grace, who isn't afraid to bring emotion, energy, and intelligence into her intimacy, who knows how to tease, to speak, to connect, not just physically but emotionally. That's what men truly crave. even if they don't always know how to say it. You don't need to perform, you need to connect. You don't need to give more, you need to be more present. You don't need to chase, you need to invite. When you tap into your own sensuality with curiosity, authenticity, and emotional depth, you don't just drive him wild, you become unforgettable. Because the woman who can make a man feel safe enough to open up, playful enough to explore, and lucky enough just to be in her presence, is the woman who lives in his thoughts long after the lights go out. So go out there and don't be afraid to express who you are. Don't be afraid to take the lead. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want and to learn what he wants. And always remember, the most attractive woman in the room is the one who is most in touch with herself. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you're ready for more conversations that help you step into your magnetic, confident, feminine energy, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a single post. And I want to hear from you in the comments. Which of these 4 turned on truths surprised you the most? What have you found works to make a man melt? Let's keep the conversation going down there. You never know. Your insight might be exactly what another woman needed to hear today. Thanks for spending this time with me. Until next time, keep showing up as your most irresistible self